Welcome! Today I would like to explain to you the ISO tool of the Emalytics preclinical software and how I can segment organs with it. You can find it here in the mouse mode toolbar under ISO, and it's visualized here, the cursor, by a blue pencil. And I open an example dataset, a PET-CT scan, and of a mouse that was injected with FDG. And you can see here the signals in 3D in the heart and in the kidneys. And now I would like to segment those organs. Therefore I choose the ISO tool. And let me add a class heart. And now you just click inside the heart on one voxel. Let me show you. And now you can segment the heart step by step. However, this is very user dependent. So we implemented another function in the Emalytics preclinical software. Let me undo this. And then I will select percent of maximum. I have to add a clad heart again. And this percent of maximum, what it does, it searches for the brightest point when you click in the heart and sets this as a threshold. And every voxel above 50%, because we have here 0.5 of this intensity, is segmented as heart. So I press here now, let me hide the overlay. So now you can see that the heart was segmented. And we recommend to use this function, percent of maximum, because it reduces the user variability. Another thing that is important to mention is you can segment the heart in this way in 2D, but it doesn't work in 3D. Let me add a class kidney. And now I click here, but you see I cannot segment in 3D. I could segment in 2D, but not in 3D. And this is because we have here the volume rendering for the overlay, and in 3D there's no specific point you can click at. What you can do, you can change the 3D rendering of the overlay mode, like the volume rendering now, to an ISO rendering. Let me adjust the rendering settings a little bit, like this. And now you can also segment in 3D. So this is worth to mention. Okay, now I segmented the heart and in the kidneys in this way. The ISO tool can also be used on the underlay. So let me go to the underlay. And let me add a class bone, for example. Now I click here on the spine. When I hide now the underlay, you can see that the spine and all connected parts were segmented as bone. But in most cases we use the ISO tool on the overlay, for example PET data or SPEC data, to segment organs. But just for you to know, you can also segment parts of the underlay, but make sure that you select the underlay as selected layer. Okay, I hope this helps. Wish you a nice day. Bye bye.